We have hope. Hope that things will get better. And they will. Especially since you're listening to Rule the Galaxy podcast.
Join me. Together we can rule the galaxy far from sun.
Hey, Star Wars fans and Rule the Galaxy friends. Welcome to the first official, even though not everyone is here, the first official episode of the Southern Rim. It's Rule the Galaxy, the Southern Rim. And that was a name that either Scott, Michael, or Steve came up with. And we're going to run with it. But in the future, it's going to be those three and possibly Garrison Ryfun. And I'll run through what all they do. But in this first episode, it's one of the fan favorites. It's one that everybody likes me to have on and talk to. It is the most listened to man in Southern Georgia radio, Scott Ryfun. How are you doing, Scott?
I'm super fantastic. How are you, sir?
I'm doing well. I'm doing really well. Just to give everybody a little rundown, something we've been talking about, but Mr. Steve Glosson of the Geek Out Loud podcast, when it comes back, I haven't seen it in a while and I miss it.
You know what? Not to interrupt you, but I am going to interrupt you for this special bulletin.
I would love to hear the special bulletin.
And notice, by the way, I'm not doing it by using fraudulent EAS tones, which is illegal. But anyway, and I know this, but I know this because I get trained on it every year, but I also know it because somebody tried it the other day and I had to bust them. Anyway, I was just texting with him yesterday and the Steve Glosson. Yeah, I know. Everybody get jealous. I was texting with Steve. But we were both nerding out over the new Spider-Man trailer.
Mm-hmm.
And I think there's a lot to nerd out about that trailer. And I said to him, this seems like it's a good time for a Geek Out Loud. And he said, I agree. And I don't know what happened from there. I don't think he went live, though, but he should.
Yeah. So I also have been fortunate enough to be able to text with the Steve Glosson.
What? He said I was the only one.
I know he does that, but he keeps telling me with the move, he just isn't to a point with his equipment and his room and everything else to be able to record.
That's probably true.
Yeah. And let's face it, Steve is somewhat of a perfectionist and he will probably want his stuff to sound right, look right. So I will give him time, but in the future, he will be joining us. Also, like I mentioned, your son, the guy Garrison Ryfun.
I do know him.
And Michael Nipp. Actually, you helped create him. I think we discussed that before.
Yeah,
not Michael Nipp, but Garrison Ryfun.
Yes. I helped make Michael Nipp actually as well. That's going to come as a shock to him. But the second he does that little 23andMe swab, he's going to learn some things about himself, as so many people do in this day and age.
Wow, you are correct. But they are starting up a new podcast, Cinema Debrief.
Yes. Correct.
So we're gonna try to cross-pollinate here. A little bit of you, a little bit of me, a little bit of Steve, a little bit of Michael and Garrison. We're gonna do this once a month, if possible, when we can all put it together. This week had some conflicts, so it is just you and me running the show today. But we've done this many times and we've had a lot of fun. So I'll just throw it out there real quick. What's on your mind? Anything you want to hit on besides the Spider-Man trailer? Because I only saw it once so far. So I probably wouldn't be that knowledgeable of it, but anything you want to hit to start?
Well, first thing, I've not issued a public thank you to the secret weapon of Rule the Galaxy, Alfie Molinaro. Alfie sent me this the Valentine's droids, and I'm not sure what he's saying. I'm going to take it though, like when you're in elementary school and you have to give everybody a Valentine's card no matter what, and you're like, okay, Greg, I don't really love you, but here's a card. Yeah, and you can give me a card and we can get candy. Greg. So anyway, thank you, Alfie, for this. This is awesome. I get every year, as you know, I send out what I like to call the 9 I go for my anniversary to Walt Disney World, and they have holiday droids every year for the Christmas season. And I always buy 10. And when I get home, I put one away for me, and then I send 9 of them off to people that I like. And I don't get them back, but this is great. I don't know. I mean, it's a list of it's a changing list, and if I don't like you anymore, I don't send it to you. No, that's not true. That's not true. But it's people who are on my mind, and I send it to them. And but Alfie returned the favor twofold.
Yes, he did.
Awesome.
So I was there around Halloween, and there was nowhere where I could find the Halloween droid to send it away. Yeah. I looked up and down everywhere. Now, I wasn't in Galaxy's Edge, so I don't know if I missed that.
No, they don't sell them in Galaxy's Edge.
Yeah, that's right.
Because everything in Galaxy's Edge is like in universe.
Correct.
So when they sell you something in Galaxy's Edge, it's something that, there's a little crossing of the streams here and there as far as tags and that kind of thing go. But by and large, everything in Galaxy's Edge is essentially in universe. Also, with that package, and you know this because I think you sent the package.
I did.
Jason Hatfield sent me a very cool Kiss puzzle, and I have a lot of Kiss puzzles. I didn't have that one.
Really?
So it worked out really nicely.
Well, Alfie has been part of the 9 recently, and I can't thank you enough. I've got all my droids you sent me right behind the logo there, if you're watching on YouTube. But I've got to reposition my shelves, so I will do that very soon. But you've been kind enough to do that for me and Alfie. Alfie wanted to return the favor. And then Jason Hatfield, I am sitting next to 3 tubs of Star Wars puzzles.
Whoa.
Yeah. Now, I've done a handful of them. My wife and I have done a handful of these now, but there's so many here, we'll never get through them. I'm trying to figure out the best way that's cost effective for me not spending $20 and $30 a pop to send these out to listeners. But it gets a little pricey, as you know, from your 9.
Shipping's insane. Shipping is. Let me tell you something, and I'm gonna throw names around, because you beat me on the texting Steve Glosson thing, but you didn't do this. Adam, I mentioned this, I think, on this program actually, that I had suddenly out of nowhere become a repository for Burger King Star Wars glasses.
Yes.
And like people were giving them to me, like I'm showing up places and people are like, here, Star Wars glasses. And which was great for a while. And I completed everything I needed to complete. And I have a lot of extras. And one day Bray reaches out to me and is like, hey, Adam Bray.
Mm-hmm. The one and only Adam Bray.
The one and only Adam Bray. And Bray reaches out to me and says, hey, I'm starting to collect those glasses now. You got anything extra that, you can slide my way? And I was like, well, let me see. What do you need? And he told me what he needed. And I went through my stuff and I found I had, 6. I think I had 6 glasses. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 6 because they're still right over there. They're set aside for Adam Bray. I had 6 glasses that I could add to his collection. And when I was out sending the 9, and Adam gets one of the 9, I was out sending the 9 and I took the glasses with me and I said, all right, so let's see what this would cost to ship these. And I was like, it's got to be very, 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 very delicate because these are glasses. And the girl was like, so like pretty delicate? I'm like, no, very delicate. She's like, oh, like, so kind of delicate? I'm like, no, really, really delicate. And it was like, to send the 6 glasses, the cheapest I could get and have them be treated with kid gloves was like $130.
Oh yeah.
I sent Adam a note. I was like, hey, I got 6 glasses for you, but I ain't sending them to you at $30. So we got to come up with some other way.
So what I really want to do, and there's got to be a way we can figure this out, is between you and Mr. Glosson, Garrison, if you'd like to, Michael, if you'd like to, maybe a few of our other listeners down south, at Bray, ourselves here with the Rule of the Galaxy crew, there's got to be some meeting in the middle where we get together, we hang out, and we bring things that we need to transfer to one another. So we're not, it's probably less expensive to get a hotel room and stay somewhere like Nashville or something in between us than shipping all this stuff.
By the way, I love the Marriott at the airport in Nashville.
There we go.
So I'll stay there in a heartbeat.
Well, good. Hey, yes, I love that we're building this little community where we're all trying to send things back and forth. I think it's great. Jason Hatfield, again, another hats off to him for all the stuff he's given me. And once we come up with this plan where Joe is not spending $20 and $30 to ship out a $5 puzzle, we'll get all these going out there because I do want to share the wealth. It's a community, and he's nice enough to donate them. they need to go out to people and who can really use them. You and I were talking behind the scenes about my Uncle Matt's collection / museum. Now, I need to get
your uncle is your uncle is Uncle Matt?
Yeah.
Like Traveling Matt?
Uncle Traveling Matt. That's what I call him. He's my dad's youngest brother. We're the same age.
Oh, wow. That's interesting, Gobo.
Yeah. We both grew up loving this. We joked, I started a family and didn't have the money. He didn't start a family right away and collected more. And he now has a museum as well. You saw a half an hour's worth. Alfie and I were there for over 2 hours. And I could have recorded all 2 hours, but there was just so much. I need to get you to Indy to walk through, and he would love to have you do that. And actually, just like the Southern Rim podcast we do, and Across the Space Whale Pond with Mark Newbold and Mark Mulcaster, Matthew and I are looking to start a monthly Star Wars museum / collector's show, because he has friends all over the country and all over the world who have collections like him. So we're looking to do that and put that on YouTube sooner than later, but it's in the works. So
I love it. You know, you could do, let me tell you, I have podcast ideas and they just never get done because there's just no time. But sometimes I go far enough as to register domain names and stuff like that. So one of the ones I own is I have My Star Wars Story.
Yeah.
You know that one well.
I do.
An offshoot of that I wanted to do was to have people kind of show different parts of their collection that they really liked and enjoyed and appreciated. And we were going to call it My Star Wars Stuff.
Love it.
So I have mystarwarsstuff.com. So you let me know if you need to put that in action. I will loan you the use of that.
Well, you'd be obviously a part of it because your collection would be in My Star Wars Stuff.
Speaking of which.
Yes.
I got to thinking about this. I got to thinking I have a rant and I have kind of a My Star Wars Stuff thing. What do you want to talk about first?
Well, I have some little show and tell things to go along with you. So let's start with the rant. Then we can go to those other things.
All right. And this is going to be the controversial part of Rule the Galaxy. So this is the part some of you will want to fast forward through this. But I'm going to tell you something, Joe Molinaro.
Yeah.
I am sick to death of seeing Star Wars fan accounts on social media whose identity is completely wrapped up in Star Wars fan accounting, posting 99% Orange Man bad stuff. And I'm sorry. And this has nothing to do with good Orange Man or bad Orange Man. This has to do with the fact that if I follow you for Star Wars,
correct,
and you tell me you are Star Wars, then put some damn Star Wars content on your feed. I mean, something.
I feel you, brother.
You know, Pete Hegseth drinks too much, and then there's nothing to do with Star Wars. JD Vance has sex with a couch, and there's nothing to do with Star Wars. Here's what I propose. I think Lucasfilm should crack down on all these idiots, because Lucasfilm, they got to protect their brand.
They have a product to sell.
And I think what they should do is, because they allow us, by the grace of Lucasfilm, to have a platform where we discuss extensively their property, right?
Correct.
And we do all kinds of stuff. We take liberties. Let's be honest. We run a little music here and there. And they should make, as a condition of their just kind of letting this stuff go, is if you got to at least mention Star Wars. So if you want to say Pete Hegseth drinks too much and he's a bad, Secretary of War, Star Wars.
Yes.
Then you're okay. JD Vance has sex with a couch, Star Wars. At least say Star Wars in the tweet so that we know that we're getting some kind of Star Wars content there.
Sure.
Because then look, I post things of all manner, variety, nature of stuff on my Twitter feed. But it's my Twitter feed with my name, and you're getting me, and that's going to be a little bit of everything. And I noticed, like, if I make a political post and you like it, you don't like it with the Rule of the Galaxy account.
Do not.
You like it with your personal account.
Correct.
So you understand the separation. I have a My Star Wars Story Twitter account. I don't go doing political stuff with it, because I think that, people who could subscribe to it for Star Wars.
Correct.
So if I subscribe to your Star Wars account, now again, if it's one of those things where you go, hey, I do a little of this and a little of that, and that's your brand, that's cool. All right, I'll take that. But when you say I'm Star Wars and 99% of what you do is not Star Wars,
correct.
Stop it. Just stop it. Get a different account. Do the, I spew account, and then you do the Star Wars account.
Scott, you're preaching to the choir. I will say this. I have, and my wife does not care for this because I spend way too much time on my phone anyway. I have 4 Twitter accounts.
Yeah.
I have one for me. I have one for Star Wars. I have one for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And I have one for the Chicago Cubs. And when I'm on my Cubs feed, I want Cubs news. I follow people talking Cubs talk. Same with the Steelers. Same with Star Wars. I have recently, and I know this is probably seen as a bad thing, but on those accounts that are related to either Star Wars or the Cubs or the Steelers, if I see people that say, like Steelers fan number 1 is their Twitter handle, for example, right? If I see them going for days on politics, I no longer follow them.
No.
I don't post. I refuse to post political things on anything related to those other 3 accounts.
Look, and I would feel the same.
Correct.
If there was a Star Wars account that tweeted about nothing but the honeymooners.
Oh,
okay.
Yes.
Because again, you are telling me this is my brand. And I go, well, I'm going to follow you because I'm interested in that brand. And then you have baited and switched. Some of them are masters of it.
Yes, they are.
So I'm just...
there's some that will go in tangents and talk about Battlestar Galactica or Buck Rogers, or they'll talk a little Star Trek. And I'm like, those aren't my thing. That's not my wheelhouse. But you know what? It's adjacent. So I'm allowing.
But you know what?
Yeah.
There's a lot of like Battlestar Galactica, there's a lot of Star Wars DNA there.
100%.
I mean, when we were kids, you remember this, at least this is the thing Shaz and I talked about on our Colonial Movers podcast. I'm sorry, Colonial Movers plus Orange Man Bad podcast. It's not Orange Man. It's all Battlestar Galactica, believe it or not. Vintage, real Battlestar Galactica, not that not that reboot horse shit. But anyway, sorry. I was channeling Dabney Coleman for a second there. But we talked about this before when we were kids and Battlestar Galactica was coming on. It was to us, Star Wars is on TV.
Yes.
Star Wars is coming to TV in the form of Battlestar Galactica. Because, you had John Dykstra, and we all as kids knew who John Dykstra was somehow. It had Ralph McQuarrie. We all knew who Ralph McQuarrie was at that point. It had a Cylon whose mouth looked like Darth Vader. It was we were hyped up for it. So if your Star Wars account says a little something about Battlestar Galactica, I get it because there's DNA there.
Oh yeah.
But JD Vance having sex with a couch and Star Wars, there's no shared DNA there. There's none. I mean, there's DNA on the couch clearly, but not shared DNA between Star Wars and JD Vance and the couch. So I just stop it. That's all I'm saying. Just stop it.
I get you completely.
Or at least if you're going to do that, say Star Wars somewhere in the tweet. Just say Star Wars.
Just hashtag it,
Just do something. Boy, I sure do hate that Ted Cruz. He went to Mexico during a blizzard, Star Wars. We're good.
Love it. Absolutely love it. Hey, I don't think that was a rant. I felt that was a coherent discussion point that hit a lot of good topics.
It just drives me insane. That's all.
Okay, good.
All right.
Let's bounce around some show and tell. One,
right.
People on YouTube will love it. If you don't have it or watch us on YouTube, you should, just for these kind of shows, but it will be on the podcast. We'll try to explain it over the podcast as well for those of you not visually attuned. Go ahead.
Me?
You can start. Yeah.
Oh, I started thinking about this and about the fact that some of the things I've been buying lately as part of my collection, I'm not sitting in a store waiting for some brand new thing to come in, though clearly I'm still doing that. I got a Roosevelt shirt coming today, a Darth Maul Roosevelt shirt.
Nice.
But I started thinking about a lot of what I'm chasing is, it goes back to kind of the podcast that I was doing, that I think I will one day do again. And then my Star Wars story. I'm still kind of putting my Star Wars story together personally, my personal Star Wars story. So a lot of my collecting has shifted to things that mean something to me.
Correct.
If that makes sense.
Yes.
So my most recent acquisition, and this is the thing my buddy Ryan sent me. He said, you should get let me explain something. I'm going to talk crap about Ryan for a couple of reasons. One, he deserves it. And two, he hates when I talk crap about him on podcasts. He just hates it.
That's the rule of the galaxy way. That's what we do.
It really is. But no, he is very, 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 very persistent in reaching out and going, hey, you should buy this thing. Like we're all made of money and we've got disposable income just sitting, falling. He's constantly saying, hey, you should buy this. And I go, no, why should I buy that? But sometimes, I mean, and a lot of the stuff he hits is legit. I mean, Ryan's a real deal. And you want to talk about a guy who he knows his stuff. Ryan knows his stuff. And he's always got his ears to the ground. But he sent me one the other day and I was immediately like, no, I'm not going to. And then I got a 25% off offer on it. I was like, yes, I'm going to do it. September 1977 issue.
Wow.
Reader's Digest. And if you got, and I don't know, I feel like everybody got Reader's Digest when we were kids. I feel like that was a staple of the household. One of the things that would always happen is if you got the newsstand copy, it would have this little coverlet attached, but it wasn't really part of the magazine. And that's kind of what sold me on this, was that not only was it 25% off, but it had the coverlet attached. Now, Reader's Digest also, for those of you kids who don't know, there was very little original writing in it. It was mostly taking things from books and magazines and that kind of thing and condensing them or reprinting them.
Correct.
It was kind of, when you think about it, it's kind of the Drudge Report before there was Drudge Report. It was kind of an aggregator. But the Star Wars piece was from Time Magazine. But still, this was the thing that I remember having in the house for a little while. And I remember when it was time to throw it away, you just threw it away.
Yeah.
And I didn't understand that as a kid. I was like, well, but I would like that. And my parents, it's kind of like when Star Wars came out and I saw it for the first time and I was like, okay, great. When can I go see this again? And my parents were like, you don't go see movies twice at the theater. And so this was the same kind of thing. It was like, we should save that magazine because it has Star Wars in it. Why would we save a magazine? Throw it out. So to have gotten this and get it in the condition that it's in, is really neat.
I just like, for those of you who are just listening, it has Star Wars, all about Star Wars on the front of Reader's Digest, and right underneath it, the sex test.
The sex test. That's right. Because nothing goes to, well, here's the test.
I think the sex test was, if you like Star Wars, you're not going to see sex.
Exactly what I was going to say. Did you see Star Wars? Yes. Did you see it more than once? Yes. Then you're not getting sex. That's exactly what it was. So, but no, I'm shifting a little bit of the collecting is really more towards these old things that were important to my Star Wars story developmentally. I've shown this one on the program before, but it just reminded me of this, as I remember Christmas Eve, 1982, horrible windstorm. We are hosting Christmas Eve at my house for the first time because for whatever reason, my uncle usually did it. And for some reason he couldn't do it that year. I don't remember why, but my uncle's house was huge. It was massive. It was cavernous. Well, we thought it was cavernous. I've driven by it since then. I'm going, that was it, huh? When I was a little kid.
Amazing.
Yeah. And anyway, so this was the first year. We're getting the house ready. My mom's freaking out. She's getting everything ready. And I go to the mailbox and I get the mail. And in the mail is the January HBO Cinemax guide. This was Christmas Eve 82. And I loved it when the HBO Cinemax guide came out. I loved that. I don't know what was one of my favorite days of every month when the new guide came out. And as I'm walking to the backyard, I remember distinctly walking to the backyard. Wind is blowing like crazy. I'm going to get the garbage cans in because this is the days kids before they had the forklift that would just pick up the garbage and dump it in the can. The guys would actually ride on the back of the truck and get out and get the can and dump it in the back and then put it back and then jump back on the back of the, which is why when I was a kid, I wanted to be a garbage man.
Sound like a great job.
No, those guys they were stuntmen.
Oh,
they hung off the back of a car. It's like Indiana Jones. So, but
they kept in shape, probably. Yeah.
Yeah. And so anyway, I'm walking towards the back with my mail in my hand. I'm looking at the HBO guide and I flip through it and I get to the back page and I see this.
Star Wars.
Starts February 1st on HBO, Star Wars. And this freaked me out because we didn't, as you remember, Star Wars might come around to the theaters once, twice, maybe a year, maybe. Empire's been out. Empire kind of comes back around, but you couldn't just watch Star Wars whenever you wanted to. And at that point in our lives, we really wanted to. And all of a sudden, it's going to be on HBO.
I remember I did not have HBO growing up, but my neighbors did. And I remember planning around when it was coming on HBO to get together with the neighborhood kids and sit and watch it. I mean, I still remember that like it was yesterday. Randy Parsons, that was the guy. He lived 2 houses down from me. We went to Randy Parsons' house.
Nice.
Watched Star Wars on HBO. Well, I'm gonna
great. Go ahead. Like when it was in its run too, it would come on 3 times a day.
Oh yeah.
I'd get up in the morning and getting ready for school. I'm watching Star Wars, and I'm get home from school. I'm watching Star Wars again, and before I go to bed, it's on again. And I'm watching a little bit of it. It was the best. And of course, back then we didn't have a VCR in my house. We didn't get a VCR till probably 86, 85 at least. It was post Asylum, and Asylum was September of 85, so it was after Asylum, and we didn't have that. So what I did to memorialize movies was I had my little cassette recorder, and I made tapes of movies that I really liked. And I have a tape of Airplane, and I have a tape of Star Wars, and I have a tape of Star Trek 2 that is marred by a giant fight my brother and I got into during the recording session of the thing, because he thought he'd be cute and throw a tennis ball at the TV. And of course, right in the middle of it, you hear punk. And then of course you hear me yelling at him and screaming, and it's not pretty, but I have it.
It's those kind of memories that really mean something, Scott.
Yeah, they mean something. But so I got the cassettes out and I recorded Star Wars, and that's, for a long time I would it was a party trick to just be able to rattle off the dialogue perfectly. And a lot of that was because of the tapes, because I would just listen to those tapes all the time. I think that's actually Timothy Zahn. I think Timothy Zahn was doing that while he was writing Heir to the Empire. Actually.
Had to have been.
I think so. I mean, I think he said that one.
I'm going to follow you up on some TV things now.
Okay.
This was years ago, and the reason I brought a few things out is because I found them as I was cleaning out my desk today. This person didn't give me the TV guide. They just gave me the cover, but it's I believe it's from Attack of the Clones. And on the cover, it has...
Oh, it's lenticular.
Yeah, Darth Vader and old Obi-Wan Kenobi, and then Anakin Skywalker and young Obi-Wan Kenobi. And so I thought that was really cool because I knew... I was like, I'm pretty sure Scott probably has this. But it came out in May. So, what, 2002? Yeah.
Yeah. There's a good chance I have it. It's probably in the storage unit. I got to tell you something, because my wife refers to me as a pack rat. I like the term archivist, but
you're Indiana Jones without the whip.
Yeah. Well, she's got the whip, but I popped by the storage unit the other day and I found a trove of, and this is how bad I am about this stuff, a trove of letters that I would write back and forth with people, notes really, that I would write back and forth with people in class. And well, the funny thing is, like, there's a story of a thing that happened that I tell a lot to people that I know. One night we were a teenage hijinks and shenanigans story. And I actually found a note that I had written to somebody sitting by me in class detailing that story. And I realized I've been telling some of the details wrong. Because I wrote this the Monday after it happened on Saturday night. So this is right. And a couple of my details, like some of the people involved, I had the wrong people.
That'll happen when we get to be 50 years old.
Yeah, kind of shocking to me. I was like, wow, that I didn't realize it. And I saw one of the guys Tuesday night. I saw one of the guys that's in there that I didn't realize was in there. I said, "Hey, you came up in my storage unit today." He's like, "What are you talking about?" I said, "Well, do you remember this night?" He's like, "No." I said, "Well, I remember the night very well, but I didn't remember you were there. But you were a major player in this, apparently." And I showed him the note. I took a picture of the note. I showed him the note. He's like, "Wow." He's like, "I don't remember that at all." I said, "Okay, well, thanks." He didn't remember his time with me, but that's okay. I didn't remember he was there. So.
Yeah, there's probably so many of those things with malted hops and bong residue that we don't.
Bong residue.
It's from a movie. I'm sorry.
That's not I never lived that life.
No, me either.
Which is probably why I have the memory I have for this stuff. But I misfired on some of the people involved in that thing.
Which is funny because you are one of the people I go to who remembers pretty much everything. So,
but a lot of it is triggers. And that's the thing. It's like my wife does not understand. My wife does not understand why I keep all the things that I keep. But a lot of it is because when I put my hands on it or when I lay my eyes on it, it triggers the memories and things come back that I go, "Oh man, I forgot about that. I just realized this happened."
You're right. It's either a sound, a smell, a touch.
Yeah.
Those things trigger those. So I'm going to throw another item that I found in my desk drawer that I haven't seen in years. This is a 2009. Yeah. 2009 Clone Wars pencil pouch. And you know my love for Captain Rex, and he's across the front of it. So that sold me. But I've had this in my desk for years. And I thought, I've got something from 2002, now 2009. I'm just going to mix and match little things here for Scott. But yeah, this is really cool. And still got the pencils and everything inside and the ruler. I wonder if kids still do this. Pencil pouches with rulers and erasers and all that.
Know.
Yeah.
I feel like they must. I will tell you this, and I don't think I'm alone on this, but every year when there's
probably by now.
Huh?
I said they probably all have iPads. They don't need pencil pouches.
But I don't think I'm alone in this, but every year when they start putting out the school stuff, I do go check out the school supplies because I want to see what Star Wars stuff there is, if any. We did a Dinner for Geeks episode last year, kind of a sneak attack on everybody. We didn't tell anybody we were doing it. And some of that arose from my going into the school supplies and seeing a bunch of Star Wars stuff. We did I was at a Barnes and Noble in Savannah. It was the Savannah one, the one in Savannah. The Oglethorpe Mall. And they had a Star Wars trivia game I'd never seen before. And it was just literally, it was long and thin, and it just had a bunch of Star Wars trivia cards in it. It was not really, kind of a nondescript box. And so I bought it, and I thought, what we do is that we do a Dinner for Geeks episode where we divide these up by 4, and we quiz each other. Each of us has to bring a prize. And then, like I'm asking these questions and I keep score, and Ryan asks and he keeps score, and Jeff asks and he keeps score, and Ron keeps score. And then each of us, we have to give a prize to the winner of our questions. And so we did that, and we all had to bring a prize. But I went and bought a bunch of the like Darth Vader notebooks and pens and lightsaber pens and that kind of thing at Target. And that's how we kept score, was with the Star Wars stuff.
Nice.
Yeah. And by the way, there were obviously 4 of us, 4 prizes. I gave away 1. The other 3 went to me. I'm just saying. Just saying.
Don't hurt your arm when you pat.
That's right.
When you pat the back.
I'm not even going to reach back there because I already know.
So I don't know if you've been paying attention, but I've been on a little bit of a kick on Y-Wings. It's become my new kind of go-to.
Yeah.
I had never
bit of a kick on Y-Wings.
Yeah. I had never seen this Rebels version. It's a Y-Wing shuttle.
No.
It's got the bombs in it and everything. It's and I found it at a place called the Toy Department in Cincinnati. But it had a Kanan Jarrus in there. And so I'm just adding to the Y-Wing collection a little bit at a time. But I had never seen this one before. And it's nice little item. I think I spent $14 on it. And
okay.
Really well put together.
Okay, now that makes sense. $14. Huh?
What makes sense?
Well, $14, because I know that I've sent you pictures of X-Wings before and said, hey, what do you think about this? And you've been like, let's see. Yeah, here we go. I sent you a text of a gorgeous X-Wing fighter or Y-Wing fighter. And I sent this was October 4th of last year at 11:28 a.m. If only I'd waited 10 more minutes. And I sent you and I sent, you want this?
And I do.
And you said, I do. But $175? And I said, I think it's 125, but it's enormous. It was enormous. Yeah, it's 125. Yeah. It was enormous. But you passed on that.
Well, here's the thing.
Uh-huh.
At the time, I was still kind of in a collect a little bit of everything kind of mode. Now that I'm fine tuning and getting more on the Y-Wing obsession and a little bit of Captain Rex, I've really been able to hone my focus on that. And I've got a few that I'm looking at that are probably they're in that price range. So I'm turning around all my little knickknack things where I used to buy, and $20 here, $15 there, and I'm saying I'm just going to hold on to all those 20s and 15s and whatever. And now I'm going to go pursue those higher dollar ones.
Well, here's what I'm going to tell you. That Y-Wing, and there was another one very similar, different sculpt.
Yeah.
Different series, but still Hasbro. At the store that I was at, that store where I found that was a Top Dog Comics in Augusta, which I really like. Every time I go to Augusta, I have to go to Top Dog Comics. I have 3 trips to Augusta scheduled this fall.
Okay.
Not 1, not 2, but 3 trips. I think there's a September, there's an October, and there's a December trip.
Football related?
2 are football related. 1 is charity related. I don't know if you know this or not, but I actually got roped into this a few years ago, and I can't not do this because it's just an amazing thing. But the iHeart stations up there in Augusta do a fundraiser for the Children's Hospital of Georgia every December. It's a huge thing. And several years ago, they reached out and they're like, hey, iHeart fired most of our guys, and we don't have enough people to do the radiothon. And so would you like to come up, and we'll put you in a hotel for a couple of days and, give you a meal here and there and that kind of thing, if you would come up and do the radiothon. And it's a long day because I do my show at 6 a.m. So I get up at 4, do my show 6 to 10. Then I jump into the hospital and do a show on the air from 10 a to 7 p. And then, I go get some dinner and go back to the room and pass out and get ready for the next day. And I do that for like 3 days while we're there. And then there's a Saturday that's about a half day, and then we end it and we come home. And as exhausting as it is, it's amazing because you get to meet all these families, you get to meet all these kids that literally would not be there if not for this place, this hospital. And we raised this past December, I think we raised over $350,000.
Oh. I
mean, it was that kind of a weekend. It was amazing. We set records for what we've done. They've done that radiothon there for, I think, 25 years. And this was the first time I think they broke 300, and they didn't just break it, they blew through it.
Yeah.
It was really amazing, really neat thing. But anyway, that's going to be my December trip.
Okay.
Augusta. And, but I'll do 2 during football season as well. So you just let me know.
I will.
If you want me to look into the Y-Wing situation at Top Dog, I will do it. It's a great store. Great store.
I wholeheartedly will. It has become, I am now kind of fine tuning the molds and the series and the years of the Y-Wing that I want, like, hey, I need the one with the red paint. Hey, I need the yellow paint. I need the Hasbro. I need the Kenner. So I'm putting together a game plan and an approach. And definitely will reach out to you about that, because it's become one of my, like my Uncle Matt, who was with C-3PO, I have not been a C-3PO guy. I've been more of an R2 guy in the past. That's why I have a bunch of R2s. But now for some reason, Y-Wings have just been like, nobody else really has a lot of those. I'm going to collect that. So it's fun.
And here's the thing. And at the end of the day, if you collect things because I'm going to collect the thing, it becomes an obligation. oh, I've got to buy this new thing. I'm not really jazzed about it, but I have to do it because I have all the other ones. And there's no joy in that. There's no joy in pursuing that. But when you collect a thing that you're passionate about, you really want this thing.
Yep.
That's when it's exciting. That's when it's fun. That's when the hunt and the chase are real.
Yeah. Like I don't need every Y-wing that's ever been created. I just need to find the ones that I like, that make sense price-wise, just to add, because I'm going to redo the shelf and I want to have them, all displayed behind me there. So that's pretty much it. And I mean, my wife, I've joked, I've talked about it on this show before. She's like, what drew you to the Y-wing? Why isn't that the one that you like? And I was like, well, it never came out as a toy until I was really slowing down on buying toys. So I never bought it. And I said, but I loved it in the holiday special when Luke flew the Y-wing. And then I loved it in some of the Marvel comics. And so I just took it with that. And that's become my new little thing. And since I never had it growing up, I felt like it was something to have.
I don't blame you a bit. Here you go.
Yes.
Diecast. Whoa.
my wing comes off just like that as well. Same thing.
There you go. It does. Yeah. It's falling right off. Yeah. And I've got the BIM as well, but the BIM is in a special box. I don't leave it out.
Yeah. I don't have the bomb on mine, but I'm okay with that right now. But that is a gorgeous, gorgeous Y-wing. Love it.
The old diecast, for those of you playing the home game, it's the old diecast, the original diecast Kenner Y-wing.
Well, and speaking of the diecast, my Uncle Matt brought it up to me. I had no idea that the TIE Bomber is like one of the rarest diecasts you can get. And he found his at a Goodwill store for like $2.
I'm trying to figure out where mine is right now because I have one. And I got mine legit. I mean, I got mine from like Gibson's, our little department store here.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a very rare thing. I mean, at one point the like mint ones were going for about $1,500 years and years and years ago. I think that there are more on the market now than there used to be. I don't know where mine is. That's not good.
Oh boy.
Somebody stole
the guy with the lawnmower came in and took
the guy with the lawnmower
TIE Bomber.
My TIE Bomber. No, I don't that's not good. I don't know where it is, but rest assured it will be fine. Yes.
So we do have some upcoming Star Wars stuff we can briefly talk about.
Wait a minute.
Are we not done? Okay.
Well, hang on. Let me ask you this. Did I show you my get from Christmas? Have I been on the show since then?
Tell me what it was, and I'll tell you if you've shown it.
The Star Speeder.
No,
that's right. No, I was going to because I reached out to you and I wanted to do an unboxing.
Yes.
Did I ever have that on?
I don't think so.
I reached out to you because I wanted to do an unboxing. Like, hey, Joe, what are you doing right now? You're like, I'm with the wife.
Yes, I remember.
And I was like, oh, okay.
Once it gets to be settle down and watch a streaming show or relax evening time, it changes the plan.
Yeah. I got this Star Speeder 3000 from Disney in December.
Really?
I wanted desperately to do an Star Speeder 1000. I'm sorry, the 1000, the new one. I wanted desperately to do a live unboxing, and I reached out to you, and I reached out to my buddy Roe from Scarif Scuttlebutt.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody was the same thing too. I'm with my wife doing wife things. I was like, okay.
No, that is part of the plan.
And here's the thing: you gotta keep wife happy. I know.
Yes,
but this thing is magical. It's 3 3/4 scale. You've been on Star Tours, and it's the vehicle from the current iteration of that. And there's a little screen in it where the screen is in the ride.
Nice.
And it plays 3 complete ride throughs of the ride on the screen.
Wow.
It is tremendous. Let me see if I can pull it over here. It's on a cord right now. It's plugged in. But this thing is unreal.
Listeners, while you're hearing a little bit of silence, Scott is walking away to pick up his Star Speeder. Oh, it's gorgeous.
Look at this thing.
Fantastic.
Did you have any walking music so I could walk over there and get this?
No, but you know what? I'll try to edit some of that in. Put a little dating game background music or something like that in there.
Okay. So it looks great, right?
It does.
I mean, it's 3 3/4 scale. It comes with a 3PO and an R2. I just about dropped it. And this is $350, so you don't want to drop it.
No.
But check, the door is open. Hang on.
Oh.
And it makes the little, listen, little. Can you hear that?
No.
Okay, try it again. No?
Not picking it up.
Oh, darn it.
But it does look good. I can tell you that.
Okay, hang on. Oh, yeah, it's gorgeous. And then, and little, got things that pop out. Little guns pop out and that kind of thing. And then, hang on. I got to hit the right buttons here. Trying to remember how this works because I've not messed with it in a couple of months. Like when I first got it, I was crazy and just messing with it all the time. Okay, there we go. And I did, by the way, put every extra 3 3/4 figure that I have in it. So they're all sitting.
Oh, fantastic. All original trilogies dropped in there. I love it.
Yep. Let's see. Hang on.
Again, for the YouTube fans, you want to check out Scott in this because it looks great. And it makes you feel like the ride on the side, but the inside looks like a ship. I love it.
Hang on a second. I'm going to get this thing. There we go. There we go. Now we're about to be cooking with Crisco. I'm going to close this thing. Where's the plug? There it is. All right, here we go. Okay. So, got lights.
Oh.
Got guns. Guns that pop out. And then over this way, let's see. Where are those? Oh, here's the button. Okay. See if I can make this thing work.
It's all right. It's fun just watching you have to deal with it. That's all. And especially in the tight quarters between your microphone, your desk, and everything else.
There we go. Okay.
Oh, I can see the screen.
Can you see the screen?
Yeah.
You probably can't hear it though, can you?
Little bit.
Yeah.
No, it's fantastic. For those, again, listening on the podcast, I apologize. Scott has the ship up. The screen is going right now. I can see it with scenes from Star Tours. On YouTube, if you go check it out there, you'll be able to watch along with it. But
that's true.
It is.
Well, I don't think you do the whole
great.
thing. It's about 3 minutes long. It's got 3 complete ride throughs.
I've seen this ride through before. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Oh, it's got Kylo Ren.
This is one of the rides where I now have to do it by myself because my wife gets really sick from the motion from that. Yeah.
I love this is, and I got to tell you, and I don't know what it is, but this, there, look at the lights in there.
Oh,
because it's got interior lights that correspond with the movie.
That is fantastic. I had not seen one of those live and in person before. That's great. The graphics on the screen are fantastic. The lights are great.
Amazing.
Yeah. Oh, it looks just like what you see in the ride.
Yeah, it is the actual ride video.
Very high quality.
Yeah. So, but I have a real sentimental attachment to that ride because I remember, when it came out at Disneyland in '87, and I, of course, was pining to go there, but it was 3,000 miles away. I couldn't go.
Yeah.
And they finally opened it up at Disney MGM Studio, and I still couldn't afford to go. And then my parents took me on a trip. I was 23 years old. My parents took me on a trip in November of '93, and it was like the first thing that I did when we went to studios is I've got to go see Star Tours, and I got in line for it. And when the original Star Tours ride started up, I ain't gonna lie, there were some dust mites in the air.
Oh,
and they somehow came in contact with my eyes, because I was in Star Wars.
Oh yeah.
It was the first time I'd ever been in Star Wars.
You're walking through the Ewok village. You're seeing an AT-AT. You're seeing a speeder bike. You're, all those things. And I'll follow up with you because, one, I'm going to have to close this down here in a few minutes because I have to head back to something. But two, it wasn't until 95 that I got to go for the very first time. I got married in 1992. Mm-hmm. And so, young married couple, no money, all that kind of stuff. Didn't get really a chance to do anything. We took our first vacation when our son was 2 years old, so late 95, I think. And that's, instead of going to Disney or instead of going to whatever, we went to the Hollywood Studios and we took him on that ride. And for him, a little 2-year-old who I'd been letting him play with action figures and all that stuff, to be able to take him, walk through that, see an AT-AT, and then go ride that ride. It was, you're exactly right. For the first time in our lives, this was before, I'd never heard of or thought of anybody doing cosplay, right? Or doing fan films or all those kind of things. So for me, it was exactly what you said. It was being in Star Wars. Yep. And you're walking through and there's C-3PO talking, right? And saying, oh, R2, we need to have this or that. And you're just like, holy cow. I mean, it's still, we went back recently, just in the past year or two or whatever. And I still love going on that ride. I still love walking through it and going to it. I still take the picture, looking at the AT-AT and everything, because it makes you feel like, holy cow, I'm in that world, which is funny because right through a hall, a tunnel is the Star Wars world. And there's some really cool things. Like, let's not kid ourselves. When you turn that corner and you see the Millennium Falcon, you kind of go, whoa, wait a minute.
Oh, no, we're going into Galaxy's Edge.
Yeah. I mean, that's right there. But still, it's like anything else when I talk to people on this show. And you mentioned earlier that tactile, either the feeling, the touch, the smell. That's why some of my favorite things are the Marvel comics or the Brian Daly books or because it takes you into like a time capsule to being a kid again. And Star Tours definitely did that to me. And I love that. I'm going to have to go look at that because I have 2 grandsons that I would love to say, hey, we're going to go ride this sometime. And oh, by the way, when you come back home, we're going to be able to see it right there. So of course, a little pricey, maybe not let them just run around with it, but it's a very cool thing. So thanks for sharing that. I'm glad you got a chance to do that. And I'm sorry that here in a few minutes, I get to break away because Joe's still a very busy person and time comes short. And you're a busy person as well. You were off doing the gig and making the money and everything else earlier today. What is a closing thought? What's something you want to hit on before we break away in the first episode of the Southern Rim part of the Rule of the Galaxy? Next time, we'll probably have more guests with us. What's something you want to hit on before we break away here?
Well, I mean, you wanted to get into I think we got Mando and Grogu coming up shortly. Let's hit that really quickly.
You want to talk Maul real quick or Mando?
I watched the Maul trailer and I don't understand why in modern Star Wars every single thing has to have a badass little girl. And I'm sorry.
I didn't even think about that. That's
you got Ahsoka, and then you got Rey, and then you got Jen Erso, and then you and then whoever this one is in the Maul Saboteur. Like, why do we always have to have a little tiny girl who beats up big guys? First off,
interesting.
And it's one reason I loved Cara Dune so much was because it was finally like, okay, they got a girl who physically looks like she could do it. Yes. And I get you. It's an interesting. I'm going to tell the Rule of the Galaxy guys to talk about that topic there because I know they will. As far as Mando, I'll just throw it in there real quick so you can hit your talking points on it. One, I'm not expecting it to be mind-altering Star Wars. I'm expecting it to be action with comedy and a little fun and bring you back to the familiar, right? You're going to have Mando and Grogu, which took the world by storm for a few years, and you're going to have it in that era right after Return of the Jedi to where people feel comfortable. So I think that's going to be good. And if they dabble just enough of the right comedy in there and they do the right action, it's like a cop buddy movie, right? But it's a father-son version of that, or something like that. So I'm just excited to have something to go to the theater and see on the big screen. What I'm really excited for is Starfighter, but I will take this as an appetizer to maybe a more
detailed and grown up, probably more version of Star Wars than, and I don't mean grown up like, oh my gosh, I'm watching Downton Abbey. What I mean is just, this I feel like is going to tickle the funny bone for people who love Star Wars, but kids can go see it, and it's going to be a good bit of comedy and fun.
I'm expecting of Mando and Grogu a Big Mac. You know what you're going to get, but you like it a lot, so it doesn't matter. It's not groundbreaking. It's not, it's not going to be filet mignon, but it's going to be something that you enjoy a lot, and that's okay. Starfighter may be something a notch above. Let me also say this: I am really, really excited for Ryan Gosling.
Me too.
I'm excited for Ryan Gosling because Ryan Gosling, I did mention to mention Roe again. I mentioned on his podcast a while back, Ryan Gosling has a really awful track record in movies that have guy appeal. And the thing is, they're not bad movies, but for some reason, they never do well when he's starring it. Blade Runner 2049, I'm sorry, I think is an Oscar caliber movie, and it tanked. I thought Fall Guy was really good. I think Nice Guys is one of the best action movies of the last 10 years. Maybe it's 11 by now. I don't know. But Nice Guys is an amazing movie.
Yeah.
Bombed. He just hasn't had a good run. But here's the thing. Project Hail Mary's coming out.
I'm looking forward to that.
I saw it Monday night. It's really good.
Good.
And the thing that kills me about his lack of success in a lot of these leading man roles is, he does well in Barbie. He does well in La La Land, the kind of the female skewing things, but for some reason in the more guy skewing things, he hasn't done well. But the guy is so talented.
I think what I'm going to hope is he draws in the female audience to go along with guys who are Star Wars fans.
Well, and I think with Project Hail Mary, he is breaking the curse.
Good.
And I think the curse will stay broken. Project Hail Mary will make you laugh. It will make you cry. It will get you emotionally worked up. It's a really good book, and it's a really good movie.
Good.
And I think he's going to find that balance where everybody likes him. And
I will take that.
Like I said, he's got the female audience. He's had them, but for some reason he hasn't been able to nail the guy audience. I think he gets them in this movie. I think this movie is going to be huge.
I'm looking forward to Hail Mary, and I'm looking forward to Starfighter.
Well, I think Starfighter will get some of the hangover from this.
Good. That's actually, I was talking to somebody about that the other day on a show. I was talking to Mark Newbold, Mark Mulcaster about that. We all three were like, this could tail over into that. So we're going to hope that it does. But if you're saying it, I believe it. So
I think it will, because here's the thing. Movies that get talked about, movies that reach kind of that cultural zeitgeist thing.
Yeah.
Those are the ones that have the real staying power, the real impact. And Barbie had that with him. This movie will have that.
Good.
The population of this country will talk about this movie for a long time.
Good.
Because it's just different and special. And I think that will reflect well on him, and I think it will hang over into his future projects. And when you attach his name then to Star Wars, I don't know how that fails.
I'm going to cross my fingers and be with you on this one. I can't wait to go see that one. I'm glad you told me the review, and now it's got me even more jazzed for Starfighter. But like I told you, I didn't mean to cut you off. I don't mean to break away. Today is just one of those days where Joe's got hard stops, so I got to go run and do that. But dude, I love that we get to start the Southern Rim part of the Rule of the Galaxy podcast. Hopefully you'll get back on my Star Wars story someday. But until then, we'll let you wet your whistle on this, and we'll get Glosson and Garrison and Michael all on here, and we'll have a bang up fun time here very soon. But Scott, thanks again for being a part of it, and we'll reconnect real soon.
Always love doing it. You know that. You
got it, my friend. Well, hey, Star Wars fans, Rule of the Galaxy fans, thanks. It's always great to have Scott on here. If Joe didn't have a hard stop, we'd keep going because there's plenty for us to talk about. But we're just going to wet your whistle for the next episode of the Southern Rim. And until then, may the Force be with you.